I'm a bit upset that Nigo is preoccupied
Okay.
because I
With
would
what?
be incredibly with Kenzo.
Oh, you know what? Let me text him.
Yeah, call him up.
Yeah.
So I think that
Konnichiwa.
that would be incredibly interesting. Nigo already did the collaborative human-made stuff with
Yeah.
Virgil for Louis Vuitton, and I would
Obviously,
love to see.
Billionaire Boys Club was a joint effort
Yes,
between Pharrell and Migo, or
and
Migo.
yeah, and I have been honestly super, super impressed with what Nigo has done over at Kenzo. He's turned that ship around, and it was the Titanic essentially, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
Um, and he's been doing some really impressive stuff, and I would like to see him again get that platform, that budget, and it leaves me wondering. I think that has historically been Pharrell's maybe richest collaborator in terms
Yeah.
of what they've been able to mine together. And it leaves me curious, who does Pharrell bring on? What does Pharrell's Louis Vuitton look like? Is there any way to know that at this point?
I've got 2 words for you.
Please.
Big hats. Huge
Big
ones.
hats.
Tall. Like the first show, you're
Mhm.
going to see a model walk through with a hat that is like 20 feet tall. Okay?
Here's the thing is I would bet on it, actually, legitimately. I
Yeah.
would put money on it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Totally fair.
You
Uh,
might be right.
big hats, round glasses.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what's coming.
Yeah. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but it's been said that how producers have their own tag, like put
Beat.
Christian on the beat, stuff like
Yep,
that.
yep. Mhm.
Pharrell's tag is like a secret tag where he does like almost all the songs that he produces. Like think about like milkshakes. It goes like dun 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 dun, dun. Like it's like a 3 like fake start. Like almost all of
Yeah.
the songs he produces is like a fake start 3
Mhm,
times.
mhm.
That's how the first show is going to start. The model's going to walk in and like somehow reverse, and then walk in and reverse, walk in, reverse. So in a huge hat,
In a big hat. Maybe
the
that's
biggest
what
hat
what
you've ever
what the
seen.
false start will be, like a trip on the lip of the hat, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
gotta
exactly.
get started again, you know what I mean?
And then they do like a somersault. It's like Willy Wonka in the original movie. He pretends to
Hell
trip and then
yes.
he
Hell yes.
stands up.
We're gonna have to circle back on this when the first collection comes out, 2024, because that's how the calendar works at this point. Um, we're gonna
I
have
mean,
to figure out. We're gonna have to look at these hats on
shots
the
in the
show.
shots in the dark. I think that his collection is going to be reminiscent of Virgil's, just in
Yeah.
some ways. Maybe because Virgil's aesthetic is influenced by Pharrell's
Mhm.
like long aesthetic. I think that it's going to be bright. It's going to be brightly colored. I think it's going to have both hip hop, streetwear, and
Mhm.
like luxury tailored aesthetics in the same way that Virgil kind of integrated.
Mhm.
I think it will. I think it's undeniably going to be musically influenced in the same way Virgil's was.
Oh yeah.
I think there's my shot in the dark is that I think there's like but you put good money on. There's probably going to be it's going to look distinct and different, but it's
Yeah.
almost certainly going to be reminiscent of what Virgil was doing.
Here's one more thing. On top of the big hats, I'm gonna throw one more bold bet out there.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see Louis Vuitton add a new vertical to themselves, which is like super high end jewelry,
Oh, like fine jewelry,
fine jewelry.
straight up for sure. I'm
Because I'm
surprised they
just
don't even
thinking
have that
about,
yet.
I don't know if you saw that auction that Pharrell did of a lot of his jewelry and stuff. He's a connoisseur of
Mhm.
this stuff. Very fun too. Again, going back to the Virgil days of like the fun bags, the conceptual accessories and things like that. If I were bring Pharrell in, I think it was a no-brainer to bring a fine jeweler in too and just blow the roof off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Blanks just commented, "I want to see some 2000 big chains if he comes in." I kind of do too. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly like I'm thinking about it. It's like, why doesn't Louis Vuitton already do fine jewelry? And for
Yeah.
watchers and listeners alike, to kind of put things into context, jewelry from Chanel, from Louis Vuitton right now, from Celine, from name your favorite high fashion brand, the
Mhm.
jewelry that they typically produce will be called or considered fashion jewelry or even costume jewelry. And what
Mhm.
that usually means is that it can be made out of a fine material, like usually like a sterling silver, or it could be gold plated, et cetera, et cetera. But there is a
Yeah.
distinction between that and what is considered fine jewelry, which
Mhm.
is usually the price it jumps significantly,
Significantly, yeah.
and it will be made out of things like platinum or like 24 karat gold. It will be pieces that are the materials are just the types of things that you wouldn't typically use to make a fashion piece
Yeah,
because
and
they are expected to be like timeless.
I would, challenge people to, like, go on Essence and look through the fashion jewelry, the designer jewelry that you can find readily available. Um, it's a lot of, like, silver tone metal
Yeah,
is what this stuff is made out of. It's
and
it's kind
that's
of wild, honestly.
and I mean, it can hit or miss depending on the designer. It doesn't
Mhm.
mean that it's straight trash,
No, no,
but
not at all.
it almost always is because it's made out of because like those are considered two distinct kind of genres of jewelry. Of like fine jewelry is totally different than fashion jewelry. An example, my love interest Caroline, she has a vintage Chanel necklace that her grandmother gave her. It's
Oh,
decades old.
man.
And it's like I said, it's decades old. It still is looks young as the day it was born, but it's not made out of gold. It's just gold colored.
Hmm,
And that kind of thing is still valuable. It's still
yeah.
really cool, and it will probably always be valuable. But it's not valuable because if we melted that down, we could
Right, right.
make some gold fillings for all of our teeth.